Earth rotates on its axis. And I had told you in the last class, this is the axis of the Earth, this red one. Okay. So Earth is bit tilted. Okay. It is not like this. It is not perpendicular. We have a little tilt in the axis. Okay. So this much angle, the tilt is 23.5 degrees. Okay. If you take from the vertical plane, and if you take from this orbital plane means the plane along which the Earth orbits around the sun. So if you take from the orbital plane, this axis is tilted by 66.5 degrees. Okay. So you know this is 90 degrees perpendicular, but the axis is tilted. If you take from vertical plane, the axis is tilted by 23.5 degrees. And if you take the orbital plane, the axis is tilted by 66.5 degrees. So rotation is that the Earth moves on its axis. And I told you this line, this red line, north-south, this is the North Pole and the South Pole. So this axis, this is the axis of the Earth along which it rotates. Okay. Now, axis of the Earth is an imaginary line which makes an angle of 66.5 with its orbital plane. Okay. And from the perpendicular line passing through the plane, the Earth's axis of rotation is 23.5 degrees. Okay. Now, how much time Earth takes for one rotation? 24 hours. Okay. Which decides the day and night. Okay. This period of rotation, 24 hours, is known as Earth Day. And every day, Earth rotates on its axis. So this is the daily motion of the Earth. Now, the next point. This means Earth is tilted on its axis. And because of this tilt, the northern and southern hemisphere lean in a direction away from the sun. This also we will see what it is. The rotation of the Earth divides Earth into lit up half and dark half, which gives rise to day and night. See how day and night happens if you see this picture. Now, this is the axis of the Earth. Okay, it is tilted. See, now you can see that this half of the Earth, it is witnessing day. Okay, why? Because this half of the Earth is facing the sun. So with the sun rays, this half of the Earth is witnessing the day. But what is happening? If you see that the axis of the Earth is tilted, okay. So you can see that more of the northern hemisphere is witnessing the day and this South Pole is in complete darkness. That the division of sun rays into northern and southern hemisphere is not equal because of the tilt, because of the axis of the Earth, okay, because of this tilt. So we do not have equal distribution of sunlight in the northern and southern hemisphere, fine. So what I was saying is this is sun. So earlier position of the Earth was like this, that this was North Pole and this was South Pole and this is the tilt of the Earth, okay. So what happened was North Pole was receiving more sunlight than the South Pole. Now what will happen that Earth will move like this as it revolves around the sun also, okay. And the tilt will always be in this direction. Tilt will not change. So this will be the tilt. Again, Earth will come here. This will be the tilt. Fine. So what is happening is that Earth is revolving around the sun. So now what happens? At some other part of the year, this is the equator. This is the northern hemisphere and this is the southern hemisphere. Okay. Now this one is the North Pole and this one is South Pole. So what is happening in this position? In this position, when Earth is in this position, you can see that only half part of the sun, Earth will receive the sun rays. So what you notice is that South Pole is receiving sun rays and this portion also is receiving sun rays. But what is happening in the north, that this portion is not receiving the sun rays. Okay. So that means there will be winters in the north and there will be summer in the southern part of the earth. Slide. The portion facing the sun experiences day. This I have already told you. While the other half from the sun experiences night. So the circle that divides the day from night on the globe is called circle of illumination. Now, what would happen if the earth did not rotate? For example, if there was no rotation of earth on its axis, so what would have happened? Earth would have revolved around the sun, okay? And what would have happened? There is no rotation. So this side, which is facing the sun, which is receiving the light, would have always received the light, and other portion of the earth would always have been dark had there been no rotation. Okay. So with the rotation, what is possible? That one half is having day and other half is having night. Then what will happen due to rotation? The one half which was having day, it would now have night and the other part will have day. But if there had been no rotation around the axis, this portion always would have witnessed day and this portion always would have witnessed night. So this would have led to the life on earth being unsustainable. Okay. So rotation, it causes what? Change in day and night that we have seen already. Tides in sea and ocean, we will see it later. Okay, I'm not discussing it now. And deflection of winds and currents. So winds and currents also we will see when we will go through the winds, that due to the rotation of earth and due to its tilt on the axis, what happens is that the winds also, they change their direction in the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. So this also we will study later. Okay. Coming to revolution. Revolution, you know, it is the path of the earth. If this is the sun, as I've already told you, it is the path of the earth around the sun. Okay. And this path is elliptical. So this is an elliptical path. Okay. Now the movement of earth around the sun in a fixed path is called revolution, and path is called elliptical orbit. And it takes 365 1/4 days. So I had told you earlier that the concept of leap year is, see, if you consider that 2000 is a leap year, okay. So after it, 2004 will be the leap year, okay. So leap year means that a revolution of earth, it takes place in how many days? 365 1/4 day. But what happens is, generally in a year, we don't count 1/4 of a day. So 1/4 of a day means 24 hours divided by 4. That means 6 hours. So we are not counting 6 hours. Okay. So for the first year, we do not count 6 hours. Then again, for the second year also, we do not count 6 hours. For third year, we do not count 6 hours. And then what happens in the fourth year? What we do is we add these 6 hours. Okay. So when you add 6 4 times, that means you have how many hours? 24 hours. That means on the fourth year, or which is a leap year, we add one more day. Okay. So that means we have an extra day in February on the leap year. Now, this is the revolution of the earth around the sun. Okay. So earth is revolving around the sun. So if you see here, now, you know, this is equator. Okay. This is Tropic of Capricorn. Okay. And this is Tropic of Cancer. So winter solstice means that there is summer in the southern hemisphere. Why? You can see the sun rays. So there are the sun rays, you can see South Pole is having summer. Okay. And what happens is, in the solstice, winter solstice, what happens? I told you that the sun moves between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. The winter solstice, the sun is directly overhead Tropic of Capricorn. So this is Tropic of Capricorn. So sun is directly overhead Tropic of Capricorn. So what happens? There is summer in the southern hemisphere And in the northern hemisphere, there will be winter. Fine. So this is solstice. Solstice means sun reaching the highest position. Okay. So this is the date, 22nd December. Okay. Now what happens is, then what happens? Earth revolves around the sun. Then we have another date, which is equinox. Now what happens in the equinox? Equinox, then I told you that the sun, it moves between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. Okay. So during the winter solstice, the sun was directly overhead Tropic of Capricorn. And then what will happen? That sun would start moving towards the equator. So in the equinox, what happens? That the sun is directly overhead the equator. Okay. So there will be equal day and equal night. Okay. So you can see the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere all are receiving the sunlight. Now the sun, it has reached the equator. Now it will start moving towards the Tropic of Cancer. So in the summer solstice, the sun will be directly overhead Tropic of Cancer. Okay, so there will be summer in the northern hemisphere. Fine. And there will be winter in the southern hemisphere. Then again, what happens? The sun would start moving from Tropic of Cancer to back to equator. Okay. And then again, equinox, on the equator, sun will be directly overhead. So equal day and equal night. So equinox means 2 days of the year when we have the length of the day and the night is equal. Okay. So these are the different phases, and these different phases give rise to the seasons on Earth, various seasons. So when we have winter solstice in the northern hemisphere, we have winters. In the southern hemisphere, we have summers. Okay. Then equinox, and then in the summer solstice, what we have? In the northern hemisphere, we have summers, and in the southern hemisphere, we have winters. Okay. So if there is summer in Australia, so Australia is in southern hemisphere. Okay. So if it is summer in Australia, then in India, we will be having winters. What are the reasons for different seasons? We have already seen rotation. Okay. Rotation of the Earth on its axis. Revolution is the movement of the Earth around the sun. It is also responsible for seasons. Then Earth's tilted axis. Okay. That is responsible for seasons that we had already seen. Fine. And then axial parallelism. That means the unchanging orientation of Earth's axis. So the Earth axis will always remain tilted by 23.5 degrees from the perpendicular. Okay. Or you can say by 66.5 degrees from the orbital plane. It will not change. Okay. So the axis will always remain in this direction with this much degrees. Okay. So this is known as axial parallelism. And then Earth's shape. The shape of the Earth is curved. That also we have seen in the previous diagram, that because of the curved shape, what happens? Some areas will receive the direct rays, some areas will receive the slanting rays. So these also result in the different seasons. Okay. So the Earth's curved surface presents a continually varied angle to the incoming parallel rays. So angle changes around equator, it is 90 degrees, and then it becomes slant. This we have already discussed. Okay. So the latitudinal variation in the angle of solar rays results in uneven global distribution of insolation. Insolation means sun's rays. So sun's rays are unevenly divided, unevenly distributed on the Earth. Why? Because of the shape of the Earth. It is a curved surface. So some areas get direct rays, okay, like the equator, and some areas receive the slant rays. Okay. Okay, so I've already told you on approximately on 22nd December, winter solstice. That means sun is directly overhead, Tropic of Capricorn in the southern hemisphere. So there is summer in the southern hemisphere and winter in the northern hemisphere. Around 21st March, the sun will be at the equator, 0 degrees equator. So directly overhead 0 degrees equator. So that means equal day and equal night on this day. What happens around 21st June? Summer solstice. That means now the sun is overhead the Tropic of Cancer hemisphere. So we have summer in the northern hemisphere and winters in the southern hemisphere. And what happens around 23rd September? Again, the sun would come down from Tropic of Cancer to 0 degrees equator.
0 degrees.
So we have equal day and equal night. So remember that on 2 days we have equinoxes. That means equal day and equal night on 2 days. Fine.